so you've wanted to talk anime. You have much more knowledge on anime than I do, and this kind of tails into it because it's not anime directly, but it's Cowboy Bebop, both the television show and the news that came out about the screenwriter. So do you want to start with the stuff about the screenwriter?
Yeah. I don't think she was a screenwriter. I think she was just a writer.
Okay, for the anime.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, for the anime. My bad. Sorry, I didn't even.
I was pretty sure I looked that up. Like I tried to have everything ready for that one.
Yeah. So.
Do you have that article pulled up?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So, sorry for my apologies not pronouncing her name correctly, and I feel like Sensei Yuki from my college would get mad, even though I only took 1 year.
That a friend of yours?
No, she's a professor at my school that I learned Japanese from. I only took 1 year of Japanese.
What? Yeah. So start with the article.
Yeah. So basically, the writer, Cowboy Bebop.
And guys, that's not the article on the screen. She's reading from. This is just an announcement that came out that we wanted to.
I want to bring this up first. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So this is from CBR, and this article is talking about one of the writers for Cowboy Bebop. Her name is Kaiko Nobumoto, and she passed away December 1st, and it was from cancer. Rest in peace. She's not the only person that died from the anime community. The English dub version of Dragon Ball Frieza, his character is Frieza. He passed away, and I just watched the charity donation live stream that they did yesterday for it. Rest in peace for him. He had like lung transplants, and apparently it failed.
Okay. So they tried to do a transplant and it didn't.
Like he already had it. It was successful, but I think like you know how like when you get organ transplants they slowly fall and they like break down.
Okay.
So that's what happened, and his beloved, she's also a voice actor. Like she was complaining. Well, she wasn't complaining. She was just telling her friends who are animators and voice actors that the medical costs in the U.S. cost a lot.
Yep.
So it was putting his family and her all the way in debt. They're still paying for that, and I believe the charity donation, you can still donate it. It's on Honeycast live stream, or you can look for the artist. Her name is Ashley. It's still there. You can donate, but you can't do like the artist request anymore. But they hit like I think 20K in donations.
Good. I mean, that's support for the industry right there.
Yeah, like they're all good friends. Like the artist Ashley, she said legit when he finished like his lung transplant, the first thing he said, I hope you guys are like fans of like Hello of a Boss or like Has Been Hotel, but he says this, oh Ashley. And she's like, no, don't waste your time on that. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up because people like her and then him, the voice actor, his name is Chris Ayers, I believe. They actually bring up people, and like we grew up with this kind of anime. Like for him, he revolutionized like the U.S. like liking anime because he was one of the Dragon Ball's most notorious villains in the English dub, and I still remember that voice. Like I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's like very like high pitch and eerie. He always like yells for Goku. And like but rest in peace. I didn't know he passed away, and that was kind of sad. And then for her, the writer, she passed away from cancer, which like rest in peace.
Very sad.
And then other sad news, but also relief for some people, the live action Cowboy Bebop has been canceled for season 2. And the reason why they did it is to put out fans' misery.
That's do you want to read from the article, or do you want me to read the anime news? We'll start with the Anime News Network one because I feel like that's the most impartial.
Yeah, it's different from what we usually read from.
It's more just straight news. So it's basically just giving you the update on it. So it's basically entertainment news source. The Hollywood Reporter revealed on Thursday that Netflix has canceled the live action adaptation of Sunrise's Cowboy Bebop anime after only one season. The series garnered almost 74 million viewing hours so far, but its ratings dropped by 59% after about 2 weeks after its premiere. It has received a 46% average rating amongst critics and a 54% amongst audience members on Rotten Tomatoes. Writer and executive producer Jeff Pinker has teased in 2020 that the show's staff was planning a second season. Netflix has only recently debuted the 10-episode series on November 19th. And the company describes the series, and then they list their description for the series here. The rest goes through basic cast. That's a very quick cancellation.
It's because people were complaining a lot, and then the actress Daniela, is it Daniela?
Daniela Pineda.
Basically, like, she was saying that she didn't want to dress up like the original attire. That her name is Faye Valentine, right? The character.
Yep.
Faye Valentine has this signature look, and I was looking at cosplayers versus the actress. She has this signature outfit, which is like yellow. It's like a crop top that's very low cut. It's like a V cut, and she wears like hot pants. And the actress said she didn't want to wear it because of patriarchy.
Yep. So it just shows like you can't get away from it. When you do the Americanized version of these, there's going to be pushback from the fans. One, people just didn't like the adaptation. Two, the second that these producers and actors start, they would phrase it as disrespecting the source material, right? So like she doesn't want to dress up like the character, and she gets like mouthy with fans on Twitter, and then claims it's because she was channeling the character. But you're not. You're just being a bad ambassador for the product you're trying to sell.
Yeah, and I also didn't like the fact that they were going to make Faye Valentine like a bisexual, which I don't mind. I just don't like the fact like how she was trying to like the actress tried to make a big deal out of it.
Exactly. Just don't talk about it. That's the number one way I feel like these companies could get through a lot of these problems is stop marketing it as if you're doing some great service to humanity by changing these things and basically like patting yourself on the back. Just make the product as it is. You don't have to be 110% faithful to all the material, but you do have to pay respect to it, right?
Yeah, like the voice actor that I told you about, Chris.
Yeah.
Basically for him, he loves it, and he even loves the Dragon Ball abridged version that you can find on YouTube. So he loves it, and like
and fans can sense that.
When
they love the material, fans feed off that energy.
Exactly, and like I found out also through the live stream, he is also a combat like instructor. So like when he saw like fans like who are fans of Dragon Ball and they were trying to like take pictures of like certain combat moves, he was like, no, you're not doing it right, you're gonna hurt them, let me show you. So every con that he went with Crystal, that's his girlfriend, I don't know their relationship, I'm just gonna say girlfriend or wife, whatever.
Okay.
He would show them how to do it properly, and he demonstrated on her, so he knows how to do wrestling moves. There was like one picture that she sent to Ashley where he's putting her in a headlock.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was like, this is how you do it correctly, you guys. And he's a great guy. Like, he had a great sense of humor. Yep.
You need actors that are also going to be ambassadors for their products. I was reading something earlier.
Yeah.
Where they're talking about how it's not just actors now, but directors. It seems like they no longer like pick directors; they cast directors, meaning that they fit some certain demographic or group. They're no longer picking people that are either passionate about the material or the best person to adapt something. They're picking people based on superficial characteristics, and it's not working out because they're not showing love for the stuff they're supposed to be adapting.
So like Chloe Zhao, kind of. Yeah. Even though she claims that she's a Marvel fan, but why did Eternals flop?
Well, yeah. It's like, why would you expect somebody who doesn't have any history with the source material to actually be able to adapt something really, really well? I have my basic knowledge of comics from when I was younger and some stuff currently, but my interest was always more interesting in the area of film and how they're adapted. But I wouldn't want me to be the one to adapt that project. I would want at least 2 or 3 people that are very, very, very passionate about the source material and getting it done right, meaning that you can't just adapt something 100% page for page. That's actually true. Like, you cannot just make it just like the comic or just like the book and expect it to work, because they're vastly different mediums.
So basically, cast more Henry Cavill and have Zack Snyder film like be the director.
Not like, I would say that Zack Snyder does a good job of being like good with the fans. Other than that weird stuff with Geeks and Gamer, I don't know if you remember when that stuff happened about that live stream. But in general, he talks about how much he loves these characters and how much he wants to take them seriously, right? So in these realms, hire people that want to do that story, not just because they're a good director, but because they want to tell that story, and a screenwriter who is passionate about the material it's being adapted from. So they can't just be a good screenwriter; they have to be a good screenwriter who pays homage to what they're adapting.
Well, that's so true, because like also that the live stream that I told you about, most of those voice actors and animators, some of them are also writers, and they said basically how they got their job as a writer for like cartoon series now. Basically, they wrote. This is from them. They said they wrote fan fiction.
Yeah.
For the content, and then the people who hired them, they read their fan fiction, and that's how they got their job. Also, they said if you're a fan of their show, please stop sending them like your fanfic or like scripts, because legally they're not allowed to read it.
Yep, they can't.
They can't. They don't touch it.
There's no way they're going to touch it because they don't want to get embroiled in some copyright legal battle.
Yeah.
Down copyright, right? Or would that be
it's copyright.
Okay. But yeah, that's interesting. One thing I thought was funny. I checked before we got started today.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop is still listed now. This it's still listed in the top in trending on Netflix, right?
Who's still watching it?
That's what I'm saying. So there's a discrepancy there. How is it both still trending, but also so bad that they canceled it less than a month after the show premiered?
Well, it kind of happened with like Death Note. You remember the?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it did the same thing where it was really hated, but it was still trending.
So there's people hate watching it, I guess, maybe, but we're past the rage cycle for this. I mean, that's like a thing, right? As soon as these things come out, it happened with He-Man and the Masters. It happened with Masters of the Universe. It happened with Santa Inc. It happened with Cowboy Bebop. These shows that people know are going to be dumpster fires come out, and people get their rage videos in talking about how bad it is.
Wait, what's wrong with He-Man? I still need to watch it, but what's wrong with it?
Because he's barely in it at all, and it's the Tila show, which is not really He-Man. It's and the men are all effeminate and ineffectual, and the women are Yas Queen Slay. You know how that goes. That's
okay.
old.
So
old
it's
news.
the opposite of She-Ra.
Yeah, a bit. Well, it's but the problem is it's Masters of the Universe, so people expect it's a bait and switch. They expect to see He-Man. They're not going there to see the other characters. The first thing that should have worried people is when it was called Masters of the Universe Revelations and not He-Man in the Masters of the Universe Revelations. So
I still need to watch it because I was looking at it and I was like, it's gonna be like another like She-Ra situation where they make all the characters gay.
I don't think that was as much the focus. I think from what I gained from like the people who are big, because I was never a huge. My brother was a huge He-Man fan, but like it was just not He-Man. It just didn't feel authentic to the property, and that's the problem with strip mining these properties. They need to find new stuff.
Well, it's because now they're not trying to sell toys. They're trying to sell a new ideology.
Ideology.
Yeah.
The toy. I mean, toys are still important. I mean, that's a big thing for like Transformers and all these other.
The reason why they made He-Man is because they're trying to market the toys off.
Yep, back in the 80s.
Yep.
And then, so we talked about Faye Valentine, or we talked about Daniel Pineda and Faye Valentine. And that's the other thing about this here is that the script writer basically tells the fans they're missing out and it's their fault for not giving them a season 2. And
how rude.
She does say, like, my dear troll friends, Naomi Markman says, my dear troll friends, you do realize that literally hundreds of people lost their jobs today, right? Jobs we loved and cared about. We're going to be emotional. Also, if not all of us found out today with the public. If not all of us found out today with the public. So I do agree, and it's like I don't like that they're so rude to the fans, but I also think that the fans got their way and the show got canceled. Maybe don't take the victory lap. So I'm trying to play devil's advocate there.
No, I agree with it too. But also, you remember when we were talking about Sonic the movie, where they changed it because the fan base was like, "Dude, this is really creepy looking. You need to change it."
And they listed it as they said they bullied a studio into redoing it. Like, they didn't bully them. They offered them constructive criticism, and the studio just listened for a change.
Yeah. So, do you think the reason why Cowboy Bebop is because they surrendered? Because it was like they were like okay to make a season 2, but
I don't know how well it would have done.
I don't know because like I watched one episode and I like.
Andy liked it. Andy liked our friend Andy thought that
Andy likes anything.
That's true. But I'm saying, but you're courting an audience of like hardcore fans that aren't going to take to it because it's a very, very difficult thing to adapt. I just don't know if I feel like these projects are always set up to fail.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's never going to work. Like, very rarely are they adapted properly. I've been rewatching Cobra Kai. Yeah. That's one of the rare examples where it's done really, really well.
Well, because they're still paying homage to the original
while making it its own thing.
Yeah.
But it's not disrespectful of the source material.
I still think it's cheesy.
I still love it. I don't. This is why it's good, because we agree and we disagree on various things. I love Cobra Kai. I love every bit of the cheesiness.
Well, I love the actress Peyton List. I'll tell you that. I loved her when she was in Jessie, and I love her in. She's the girl that is in Cobra Kai. She's like the reddish brunette.
Yep. Yeah, okay. I always remember Mary Mauser that plays LaRusso's the daughter.
Oh, no, not her. The one that she fights later.
Yes, okay. So we're going to rewatch it because season 4 is coming out. Like, I'm going to make you watch it, unfortunately. It's your job.
I know. But then we have to watch...
I'm not watching Single all the way.
Day.
I'm not single
all day.
I'm not watching it.
Come on. The guy that played as Mark St. John is in this movie.
I'm not
His
watching
name is Michael Urie. We have to watch him just because of him.
I'm not watching a Netflix Christmas movie.
Come on. It's not that bad. I watched like a couple Netflix Christmas movies. They kind of have the Hallmark.
I'd rather watch a Hallmark Christmas movie than a Netflix Christmas movie.
But it's a Hallmark kind of feel.
Fine, but we have to watch Die Hard too.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Die Hard?
Yeah.
No, I was going to say
Yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, there you go. So she has seen it. Okay. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.